So the Epic Games even game. I'm testing it. It's called Geneforge. The mouse is a little choppy. Let us play. Setting. That's connection. Welcome to Geneforge. Geneforge 1 Mutaging, the unique fantasy role-playing game tactic to explore the ruined island, allies, uncovering secrets, gaining power, and creating an army of powerful, loyal, and expendable creatures. You will uncover a sinister conspiracy and then decide whether to defeat or join. But Geneforge 1 Mutaging plot is completely open-ended. You can be a good or bad guy and make the big choices in the world or room or run in. You can help the little people or you can crush them. The choices are all yours. This guide will help you create your shaper, develop your first go out the world when you start. It's a good idea to check the helpful section. The advice there is very helpful for playing the game. Upright 2020. That's a lot of. Let's just take a look above the helpful hints. Getting started. Cardio card. Raining a shape. Then level up. Rogue card. Or just automata. Again, it's about what is that in the mechanic. Okay, guarantee you can roll a save game. Not all sectors can play all characters. So there's a lot of information here. The arrow key goes up. I'm not a read. I just read this. Pause you. I hope the game will be good enough that I can just play it. So here we go. Paper. Welcome. Select one of 3 character types. The left. Shaper adds skill to animate and unmatched in their ability to create powerful creatures, however they are physically weak. Shaper will have to rely on its guidance. Are the defenders of the Shapers. They are high skilled in create creatures to aid them as well. However, the magic otherwise. Agents travel around on the command of the Shapers and solve problems. However, their magic and weapons are very strong, but they are not good at creating agents. Knowledge. Andras. Man. So let's make a gimmick. A woman now. Ultimate challenge for a brave. You will need to every trick and fully utilize every ability to defeat the nasty enemies arrayed against you. Your foes have more ability and health and do more damage. There is certain abilities can damage your own characters. Your creations will be added to add the difficulty setting for someone experienced volley play. Your foes will have more abilities to do more damage and be harder to kill. Their spells and abilities can damage your own characters. But people who don't want a huge challenge don't mind the game. Sometimes. Geneforge will start out quite easy, but become a challenge as you get close to the a nice moderate difficulty. For people who are new fantasy role playing games, just want to experience the storyline. Your foes will be the weak, special ability. Normal is the normal way to go. I mean, better than the way for experienced people, but who knows these battles? That's the way the game is made. The Shapers are the oldest, most respected, most effective, and most powerful to the magical spectrum. They have the power to create life. The Shapers can make new life forms from nothing, with organic matter and pure. They can mold this life to serve any purpose, be like housework or major warfare. The Shapers guard the secrets of the powers very closely, to learn the techniques without permissions to go to speedy death at the hands of a guardian in the day or an agent in the night. After years of work, study, and testing, you finally have been accepted to the Shapers. It is the greatest of honors. You will spend your life advancing the wheel and learning the skills. First, you must complete your apprenticeship. You must spend 5 years out in a Shaper's colony on a remote island, watching their work and aiding their research. The journey is 2 weeks long. You travel on a living craft, a specially modified ike that will sail you to your destination. After a week's journey, you pass close to a small island. Your chart identifies it as the island. It is barren by the Shapers, forbidden for unknown dangerous activities, valuable secrets. Visiting it is punishable by death. You watch such island, wondering what secrets lie there. You thus fail to notice the warship off to the east. Your craft cries out an alarm, alerting you. The ship is of an unfamiliar style. It instantly fires a long spear at your craft. The razor-sharp bolt strikes your drake in the neck. It roars in anger and breathes a bolt of fire at your attacker. It strikes the enemy sails and sets them ablaze. The battle takes only seconds. Your living craft found as mortally wounded, dropping you into the water. Your equipment sinks to the deck. You start to sink into the rough waters, but with one last effort, your living craft saves you, bleeding, dying, drags you toward the Sushan Island. You grab onto a creeping rock, barely conscious. Your craft is slumped against the stone, dying. You are left alone, abandoned on a forbidden shore, far on Sushan Island. That's cool. It got real fast for a minute there. The thing was dying and I was rushing. I could not even look up. Injury. It is my fault that I get you. Welcome to Geneforge. This message will pop up to help you learn to play the game. Character is on the dock. Select a nearby space to move to. You stagger off of the dock, weakened to the point of collapse by your despair, by your desperate swing. After a few minutes, you manage to regain enough of your senses to look around. You are on the south coast of this mysterious island. However, apart from the fact that this isle was declared buried by your people, you know nothing about it. You wish you had already started your shaping them. Islands are generally buried because of a failed experiment, the presence of horrible whole creations. Boring, boring. Fortunately, except for the lapping of the waves on the base of the dock, all is quiet. If we are going to be devoured, it won't be soon. However, you are still stranded, desperately weak as well. Fortunately, the beach is stretched off to the east. Maybe you can find supplies and there are two fortunately here, but very well written. 100 coin record. What is the record? They saved the game or something? I have a knife, a dagger. It has a value, a weight, limbs, fucking sticky people who use limbs. Has a basic attack, a dagger, or limbs. Not much does. I have no fucking idea. What's a limb? Works for arms, for legs, not limbs. Basic attack, dagger. 5 to 11 physical damage plus 10%. It's quite a ridiculous range. I mean, it can hit half of the total damage, less than half, and so that is quite a lot of luck to terminate the gameplay. That is early from the start. The default melee weapon. W. Default attack fireball. Have a use ability. Geneforge does not have any abilities or items. A woman does not have any ability or items. Walks a little weak. Take this, for example, I cannot click here. I cannot see the grid. Axe, turn off. I can see my range changing here over this cliff. I can go up to that square shadow. This window is where you can pick up drops and equip items. That is trash. During common moments, you sometimes pause to reflect on items that need for an effective recycling. Select an item or type the letter by it on the ground to move it to your back. Select it again, pick it up. That's all items. Use it as a fucking game. Not click on this falling one. Yet. Back here. Do anything. Not click this either. I cannot click this. I cannot even click my poor dragon thing. I mean, I get my fucking dragon and butcher it with my knife. Commitment. When no enemies are visible, you can enter combat mode by pressing this button or typing F. As F to pay respect. I have 8 action points. I have 23 health, 22 energy, and 19 essence. Essence used in creations. So with 23 health, I can take 3 hits of my 2 hits is 22. So it's barely. Or at the minimum, it's the minimum I can take 5. There is a host. That means you are not playing. Shaping use fire strong enables you to create more powerful fire creations. Enables to create more powerful battle creations. Enables to create more powerful magic. Cast more powerful. It bonds with the effective leadership. Is the number of options conversation help you convince your characters to aid you. Each point increases your creation's mental resistance by 2%. Enables you to use fewer living tools, open locks, and design traps. 2 points reduces the distance that enemy creatures can see you. But is what? If you are near the enemy too long, the bonus slowly goes down. Little weak. Okay. You gain that point. Most deaths are caused by running out of it. I like the writing. The water is a little weak, but I detract from the game. That's quite a unique feeling to it too. Missile weapon. This game makes me feel like playing Titans again. What's that game called? Something Titans. Added from Microsoft. That game is, I mean, it's quite shitty, but the ambient. I have some registers, so I bought a bunch of 80 water. What's a Creo? Creo is for ice. Ioderiac. Ice again. On the fire shaping. Was not like that. They just died. Ah. Oh, battle alpha or battle beta. Killer of Seri. A Blish. Or a charged Blish. A Glak. Or a Urglak. Battleman. A Bull. Access. Dash. Daisy Rock. Terror. Domination. Water Blast. Protection. Speed. Mass and heal. For affliction. Essence. Shield. Mass restore. You have not yet learned to make learn about creations by using the glowing cans that you find in the game is spoiling me. The game is spoiling me. Second button rides the game and also walks. Also attacks. So try moving the cursor to the edge of the screen. Notice how the view shifts. This is how you look around. You can also change the view by selecting spots out of. You are currently walking Geneforge, the upper right is north, upper left west, upper right, yep, under the cog, north, upper left west. Hold down the tab key for a reminder. I mean, up, oh, left is west, that's understandable, but upper left is west? What the fuck do you mean? How is this west in two directions? North in two directions, and the north is partially opposed to the west. There's a north over there, there is a south now, there's a west. heights of the diagonal here. Which fuck. Traveling dots, getting items. Stand next to an item and select the pack. There is an old hatty clock on the ground. It looks like it's been there a while. And it's not very clean. However, you are wet and cold enough to want it. To wear it, you first have to pick it up, press the get button pictured above, or type E, and select the clock to get it. Okay. This is the clock. I cannot use a zoom. Okay. Limbs. Nothing armor. Right now. Now that you have the cloak, select your character equipped. Okay. Approach. On freaking strange island. The island literally is barred all around through a wall and there is only one passage. Perhaps not. Perhaps yes, if it's closest. There is a tunnel to the north, built into the side of the hill. Your guess is that it's a storeroom of a warehouse. Usually one is placed near the docks of a settlement. The structure is crumbling. You would guess that it's been abandoned for at least a century. Probably two. Some fucking how I can judge that. Amazing. The structure of what? Wait away. They just look at the weathering on the rock and yes, that shit. And if it was a center or two, it would be by the structure, the design of that. Wait. After all these years, most of the goods inside are probably you still might be able to scavenge something. Not walk on the water. The path farther into the island is blocked by a thick stone door marked with the symbol of the ship. When you get close, your skin tingles. Complex magical protections are in place. You hear a soft reassuring voice. Susha Island has been guarded by the ship. For more information, send a request to the council. Only full shapers are allowed in. No shaper spirits have been detected in you. Please go. This is worrying. If you can find a way to pass this door, you might. Unless you can fish, motherfucker. As you eat your dragon. There's some burning on the ground. Back in town, there is a town here, but not the shit is buried. There is a door here, and there is something outside my view. Not within my view. Most people in ship like eat a simple bowl and spoon. The constant for multiple. There are some letters on each item you get. I'm mundane and non-magical weapon, but effective nonetheless. Papers are nothing but practical. As you are now, it was once. Now, it is bumpy. Doors and canister. Stand next to the door to open it. Select the canister to absorb its power. There is a door below you, and to the left. Most doors open when you get close to them. Others are opened by pulling levers. That has never happened to me in my life, but if you say so. Walk up to the door and, when it opens, go through. Select the glowing canister on the other side and you will get a pleasant surprise. It's really weird. I come near this thing, I open it. There is an officer to the east. Shelves on the walls have nothing on them but dust. A cabinet in the back corner, however, might contain something. Click on a box or key. Brush it. I come near this, they light up. There is no entrance. You can search for a clock. The same as the one I'm using. Songs. Upper disk values 12. Oh, yeah, coins. The box contains a variety of papers. You riffle through them eagerly, hoping for a clue as to where you are or what might have caused this island to be buried. It's no use. The papers crumble at your touch. Beneath the papers, though, you find something interesting. It's a brass key. None the worse for wear, but it's long gone. The retractable opens by itself. Inside this small chamber, you find several cylindrical containers. They look like canisters, each about 4 foot high. The sides are made of thick, carefully blown glass. Oh, it's 4 foot. It's 30 centimeters, so it's like 1 meter and 20. That's about a man's belly. Oh, oh, which is even on the singular man. Freaking oh shit, no, I can't. Freaking United States. The sides are made of thick, careful ground glass. Most of them have been broken, and the contents are long lost. No, they are not. They are spilled around the ground. One of them, however, is still intact. Inside you see a glowing fluid. It swirls and moves about, seemingly under its own power. It looks like it is, in its own way, alive. It probably is. You have seen similar objects. The shapers can store essence concoctions filled with life energy, which reel or energize those in. This must be something like that. There is a sharp metal needle emerging from the top. If you let it poke the palm of your hand, the substance will emerge energized. In your weakened state, it is hard to resist. Select a canister. Yeah, there is some on the ground, just take it. Ouch. Open canister, the agents inside begin to act upon yourself. Drop my hand on a needle, just spark. You are suddenly struck by a dizzy spell, driving you to your knees, almost falling over the knee. Oh my god. It's not caused by hunger or fear, but by the effects of the strange substance in the canister. The essence infused emeraldy goo didn't heal or revive you like you expected. It changed you. It's like it soaked into your skin and wrought some of your very being, making you. A strange urge on his state sails you. You extend your fingers and focus. Tiny trails of flame shoot out of them. Magic. So magic. What would have taken years of training, you learn to do in an instant. It is exhilarating and at the same time utterly alien. You had no idea that people could do something so wonderful, and you feel a deep compulsion to find more of this kind. The candidates are your main way of gaining your abilities while on Sushi Island. You can now cast Fireball. Give yourself now. Give you some very bad writing and development happening. What would have taken years of training you have learned to do in a what a piece of shit. And now the door here should open. Now this development betrayal than expected of anything well written. Here we go. The walking is also quite clunky. Paper quality have been detected within the class. Not to remove or interact with any. The device can off. Run, motherfucker. What did I do to you? My intemperance. Let so go away. Unjust. That's so that kind of not exist in the topic corrupted. Healing pod. This gout contains a specially formulated and mildly enchanted shaper maybe. Eating it has some beneficial effects. Fortunately, it keeps for a long time. Pods help only you. Use exposed to help your entire group. Rock. This is one of Sushi's island's many native rocks. It has a tiny bit of moss. Watch it kept hit me. There is a shade standing in front of you. It's a hazy, substantial humanoid. It warps, and twists in the light breeze. You suspect that a strong wind would tear it apart. It hovers in the air, staring at you. Though you can't make out any faces, you can clearly tell that it is watching. Special encounters like this one give you several actions of the day to choose from. Select the response below or type the number next to it. I haven't shipwrecked this island. Can you help me? Why are you watching me? You run your hand through the wispy construct. It's no resistance. When it tears through the shady mist form, the strange creature loses its form. It dissolves into a mist, fades away. You are alone in the cave. The door to the north is locked. The lever inside the guarded post will open it, but only if you can find the key. Levers can be unlocked with the right key, by having enough mechanical skill or by using enough living tools on them. Oh, that's a list. Okay. Ururu. One of your keys unlocks the chain. You pull the lever. There is a knife here, but I cannot get it. This box design is also quite anachron. Oh, the tonic is better. A lot stronger too. I've never even used this cloak and I'm already finding stronger shit. Oh, it's amazing. Very fond of heavy hopes and dramatic clothes there. Oh, the tonic sucks. currently using it. Ooh, 20 to 60, that's my entire life, the minimum. Now that you have made some progress, you should save the game. Saving the game creates a snapshot of your progress. Later you can load the save the game where you left. To save the game, press the second button and select the save game. Type Ctrl S. Save often. You never know when you might get killed. That looks like a bullshit advice. Things going to scary kill me. You can type F3 to make a quick save and F4 to load the quick save. Finally, the game saves for you automatically whenever you enter a new edit. If you die, you can load the autosave game. So, they are repeating all the time about this save game bullshit. And that's very worrying. Even more so if there is a stupid quick save game. Like, you keep making the same play all the time, trying to get the dagger to hit at maximum hit several times in a row. And so if that depends on luck like that, then it's probably the barracks or some guardians or agents. They were abandoned years ago. The pets have rotted away and there is trash everywhere. Whoever was here left very quickly. Two chests were left behind. I'm getting sleep. There's no battle, there's no shitty happening here. It's already linear. One helpful feature when you want to see the description of a creature, an ability, hold your fingertip on it. Oh, there's a creature here, there is a piece of shit here. Strange aroma. It has the same health as I do. It's neutral. Once again, you find you are not alone. There is a Homa just ahead, watching. A Homa is a creature. It's a creature invented and improved by your people for use as a scout or an attack dog. Since it's a creation, it should be naturally inclined to obey. However, this creature isn't servile to you at all. It doesn't look hostile, it's just staring. It's an airy thing, watched by creation in this way. Creatures have always obeyed you mindlessly. It is clear that whatever this island is, shapers have been. However, this isle is full of rogue creations, you may have a serious problem. Alma does not respond, not surprising. You get close to the Homer, it sniffs at you, then it gets nails, it... Oh. The 200 years description on that initial shitty path was very random. You could, and 200 years would leave not, you do not say there is trash around. It would be full of sand and shit and it would be much worse. That's not really. Is there a button to highlight touchable objects. The collectibles. Search. You immediately recognize this place. It was an inn where visitors and travelers could stop for sticks, drinks, and sleep. The crumbling roasting pit still dominates the center of the room. You are getting confused. This island was once fully settled. Why? Most islands are buried because of experiments gone awry, and most such experiments are performed by very small labs in cruddy quarters, safely far from society. Yet you have seen warehouses, guard posts, now an inn. At one point a lot of shapers lived here. Now they are all gone. Why? What could have driven so many of our people off? What took them? It's quite ominous and one-sided. There is no options. That is probably actually the story of this shit. What drove them. They are not giving me any false impression here. I'm actually just getting the story instead of an impression and nice storytelling. Giving the story straight. Deduction powers by looking at shit. But they do anything wrong or any. Looking to the north, you can see that you are not alone on this island. Though you were worried about the horrible mutant creations, the next creatures you encounter are nowhere near so terrifying. It is a flock of Onk. The Onk is a shaper creation. It's a slow, glancing livestock animal, hardy and laden with shapers created into stock lands unfriendly to created such as apparently this one. You notice that its onks have lashy tusks, probably added by the shapers to protect them from predators. Fortunately, they are likely to leave you alone if you leave them alone. This is the shit. Do not see any tusks. So I have to explore this first. Abby highlight my name. Unidentified road. And the cat. Oh, this was locked. I probably unlocked it before on that room back there. And all that is inside is this thing. Some telling. Nothing more to explore back here. Quite this much. This. Ah, I suppose. There's my, my side, the other side of the room. There's so much. To open this door, you need to unlock the lever. Mechanic skills is too high, just select to open, otherwise you need to bring a living tool here, use it and select it. Papers grow these stones on especially bready bushes. They are loaded with into buttons and fire at the enemy. If you try to fire an unload button, you automatically reload it with stones. só de interactive você. Eu aqui vai rock. You have reached the northern edge of this region. You can see more of the settlement to the north. You are ready to move on. Step on the area shaded blue. You will then be on the world map. Travel to a new region selected and then selected Terraro. To make things easier, the next section will be automatically selected for you. You are already regaining your strength and feeling more confident. The next section you'll learn about spells and combat. Good luck. Your adventure are just beginning. I just leveled up, man, I did nothing. One beautiful map. Like, holy sh. Actually move through it. Just bring my mouse hard enough. Oh, what this? I love. How the fuck did they make this map, man? Holy shit. You want like this thing, man? It's cool. The stage map is so kind of ugly. Those photoshopping maps. Now entering abandoned. There is a huge stone hall just ahead. It is still intact, and soft lights glows inside. Your skin tingles. There is more shape and magic. Walking on dry land is refreshing. The strange essence canister continues to work. Changes. Your strength is slowly returning. I did not eat, did not do anything, I just walked and my getting stuck. Defeating foes and finishing quests give you experience. When you get enough experience, you gain a level. You have gained a new level and you can now train your character. This will help you to survive the battles. Press the train button to begin. Each new level gives you 10 skill points. Use these to buy higher skills. Move your move mouse over each skill to see what it does. Press the plus button to improve the skill. One selection of skills will be leveled strong. These skills are far cheaper for you. Focus on them. If you want to avoid battles, focus on the general skills like leadership and mech. I have 10 points. I could have used the mechanic skill and have gotten what the fuck is inside that previous stage. So this combat would be the guarding skill, also shape. The magic skills and combat skills should be the help for the shape skills. How is fire different from battle? Battle and fire different. I want fire, but to battle. Nossa, que fuck. animal used to use this to keep it inside from flying out. What did he not? What this on such a wild. As you walk down this path, you on edge. Your shape attendant has left you a cube sensing second size of magic. Hostile creations lurk ahead. You look back at the shaping hole behind you. There's something that can help you defend. You immediately recognize this large building for what it was, a shaping hole. There had to be one of them this island somewhere. Hence, the shapers on this island used magic and force of will to make creations about utility and battle. Amazingly, this building is mostly intact. Shapers build things to last. You can see energizing pools in the side chambers holes. In the side chambers. Holes in the ceiling allow light to shine and alive. The goo inside each pool is a semi-living essence-charged aura, capable of drawing energy from the air and the sun. If you stand near a pool, you will be able to replenish your health or access, depending on which pool you select. In the corners of the hole, you can see two glowing glass canisters. Access mixes jar and glows with ready to give. Yeah, just going to break up. What did it say before I choose one? The canister by the west wall grants the ability to form a first creep. When you touch the dinner at the top, the intelligent ability to yourself. Please figure out about it. This canister can shape you and improve your abilities. Use and damage taken by a single character. It's like bullshit. Making creations. Don't know here. Oh, I can create. Try this. Request. Get contacts. I'm sleepy as fuck. To survive on such an island, you will probably need to make creations to fight for you, especially if you are playing a shaper. When you use the canister in the first shaping hole, you will learn to create a fiora, a small fire-breathing lizard. To make a fiora, you will need at least one level of fire shaping skill. Happily, you start with this. Each creation has a minimum shaping skill needed to make. Make a creation, press the plus button in your holster. You will then spend some of your accents to make your servant and improve its skills. The more essence you spend on one Fiora's skill, the less you have left to create more of them. You can create up to 7 servants. When you spend essence to make a creation, you can't get it back until the creation dies or you have it sold. The Fiora. The Fiora is one of the first creations novice shapers learn to make. They are easy to shape, easy to control, and effective defenders because they are so simple and foolproof. Outsiders often, often assume that the original design was easy to make. It was not. Creating the Fiora took decades of careful work. Thousands of generations of salamanders were warped, always taking care to maintain reliability and simplicity. They are far from the most powerful creation, but there is a lot to be said for some random experience from reading this shit. Opa, there's a lot of shit. Represented by the green bar to the right of your main character's graphic in the roster. You are you use essence to make creations and cast the more powerful spells, like healing. When you spend essence to cast spells, you get it back by returning to town or by approaching an essence pool, like the one nearby. However, making creations reduces the maximum amount of essence you can have. If you have a total of 30 essence, for example, and you make a Fiora which costs 10 essence, then your new maximum is 20. You can't get the other 10 back until the Fiora dies or you absorb it. It is up to you whether to make a lot of weak creations, a few strong creations, save your essence for a spell, or a mix of the three. Geneforge makes all of these options. They're just there. But I love it. Ah, shit. Fiora, level 5, accents 6. A Fiora is a small fisty lizard creature. It has sharp teeth, a large glands in its throat gives it the ability to spit globules of flaming saliva. Fioras have an excellent mix of melee and missile capabilities. Crioa. The Crioa is a larger version of the Fiora. Instead of all fires, they breathe sprays of magical ice. Yes, trio of ice. Really. Trios provide a strong mix of melee and distance attacks. Same shit, but stronger. Okay, see the description of the other things. There's a man here, a hominid. There is some scorpion. There is another hominid thing. There is a worm. Get yeah, copy of this. Is after I've had us to repeat it. In the stats, it really does not listen to me. My control is shit. Way I try to. I breathe. Ton of overload. Okay. The freaking dinosaur. Now, time for me to comment on this game. When the name was Jenny some shit, it's Geneforge. Even more so as Geneforge. I thought this game was about like I thought I was going to get some DNA from monsters like you do on what's that game called again? That Microsoft strategy game, Impossible Creatures. Yes, like on Impossible Creatures, where you go around shooting creatures and get their DNA, and later you can infuse the creatures. You can put the claws of one in the back of other, and by using that, you can choose the speed, the strength, the health, the special abilities, and all of that, and also the cost. But here it has none of that. The Geneforge name seems to be complete bullshit. It's part of the story that the Shapers do that. There is no actual science or anything involved on that, on the mechanics of the game. As you can see, you just click, summon the magical creature out of nowhere without anything of the interest. They say that's science fiction, but yeah. As you walk down this path, oh yes, I read that. I'm just going to see the combat now, and then I guess I got to. Soon you have to fight your first battles. There are several rogues Fioras ahead. The best tactics to defend them depends on what sort of character you. Since you are playing a Shaper, you should make at least one Fiora to help you. You will have to depend on your creations to advance. If you get wounded or your Fiora dies, you can rejuvenate your steps in the pool shipping out the. How to fight. These buttons set your current attack type, melee weapon or missile. Select the space the character stands to attack. You may be about to enter a battle. During combat, you and your foes will take turns, moving and attacking. You can leave combat when your foes are distant or dead. To attack a foe, select the space it is standing in. Choose one of your abilities against an enemy, press the use ability button. There is a Fiora standing on the path ahead. It's a very common model of creation. Shapers have made them for centuries to serve as bodyguards, watchdogs, and even pets. This one, however, doesn't have the usual expression of servility and obedience. It doesn't look at you with fear or respect. Instead, it is drooling, as if it sees you as food. You have had tales of creations which have turned on the creators, have gone rogue, but it only hardly happens. When it does, the rogue is instantly destroyed. This Fiora has spent years free of Shaper's control. It batters its teeth at you, daring you to step forward. Break dinosaur. Have an attack button. Have an ability. One of fire? That's not got a shit. Oh, I am clicking this, controlling it. That was dead. Okay, so Okay then. The old cloaks left exposed on the beach and I can just use it. Some nice feeling to it. The writing is, although it's quite light, it tries to be your friend, all of that. It's a really low level. The story is really amazing. And the battle, that is the game mechanic. Only thing it could might have is voices. This fighting is shit. The mechanics of creating monsters have nothing of the sad. Oh, science fiction. This was a storage warehouse. Well, it is still is, but now instead of housing useful supplies, it holds all the trash in hot sacks. On the counter to the west is something useful remains. There are several torn buttons. Most are dried up and dead, but one looks like it's still alive. Torn buttons are one of the shapiest, most ingenious creations. They are a mix of living and inanimate matter, plants mixed with a touch of animal, grown to a metal frame, capable of firing a long, sharp thorn at high velocity. When in use, they go into hibernation and can live for a long time. Most of the batons abandoned in this room have died. One man survived. Baton. Monkeys Infinity, man, tá fuck is this combat? Já Dragon. Bitch. And just pumping up the stats of the enemy will not solve this shitty combat. There's no mechanics to it. You enter the ruin of a quarantine hole. It is not only entirely abandoned, you see another feral creation in the far corner. A thin mangy taggy is leaning against a pillar, barely recognizing its surroundings. The bone of its prey litter the floor around it. A pathetic creature, but dangerous. If you keep your distance, you might be able to slip around. Some creatures can be evaded with stealth. Foes only notice you if you get close enough. Ah, interrogation mark. Warning will appear when you are close to being noticed. Raise your status skill to reduce the distance. Not use bone. Like, I found bone earlier. You see, I thought I was going to use those resources. to make the animals. I thought I would have to combine shit to some Minecrafty crafting of monster or some shit. Anything. It does not just click on that stupid make creation button and choose the animal I want. It was the quarantine waiting hall. People wishing to enter or leave Susha Island through this port waited, requested and inspected by the seventh month. And sure enough, the mind is still resting. The north. The map of the sea of the shapers who shaped these remarkable creatures. They were given remarkable lifespan. The thing is still alive. At 70 miles, it is a very specialized and useful sort of creature. Once grown, it never moves again. It spends its life in a stone crib made to fit it. Once there, it spends its entire life thinking, remembering, analyzing, and advising the ship. As you approach, you can see the creature is starting to rouse itself from its slumber. It's likely that it is eager for combat. Compared to the 70 miles of anyone else's. You carefully approach the 70 mind, unsure how its long solitude has affected its brain. Fortunately, its eyes are clear and bright, its body appears. It has the massive lumpy skull characteristic of these strange creations. Welcome, Shaper. I am Mind Davich, it says, reflexively reading from an internal script centuries. Do you wish to pass through quarantine? Richard looks at you carefully. It's a low, softly drumming noise. You don't feel anything, but you suspect some sort of magical augmentation is allowing the creature to analyze you in minute detail. Eventually, the noise ceases. David says, I find no reason to impress your progress further. The exit door will open at your approach. Resting on 7 a.m. Did I ask this shit? Or did I not ask this shit? I'm functioning properly. I can still do what I was made to do. I'm functioning properly. Happy to the eye. Oh, that's excellent. Well over a century. Over a century, so they went back and confirmed that bullshit. Oh, it opens now. Of the century thing. On this side of the quarantine hall, you can see another flock of orcs, watched over by a servile. Serviles are one of the strongest, shapest creations. They are the most common and valued servant of your people. Intelligent, hardy, obedient, and featuring hands with opposable thumbs. They are also easily controlled. If there are Serviles here, this isle must not be as savage as you feared. Serviles are weak and easily cowed creatures. If there were any real threat here, they would have been quickly wiped out. Your emergence from this hole is clearly the last thing this Servile expected. He looks terrified at first, then curious. He leaves his flock behind to run and speak with you. He probably wants fresh orders. The Servile boldly walks up to you. You inspect each other. It seems to be the same design of creation, with which you are completely familiar. Same hunted posture, number of limbs, and so on. It looks very surprised to see you. However, it doesn't have the attitude of immediate obedience you have come to expect. It seems more curious than anything. After a few awkward seconds of staring, it speaks. I don't think I'm mad. It's a shaper. A shaper has come at last. Oh, it has been years since anyone has come through the door. A shaper has come. This is so wonderful. Ah, where I'm Menace. I'm Timo. I'm a shepherd. I graze my ox here because nobody comes here. Oh, I must go to Valkyrie. I must tell my people a shaper has come at last. The writing is very poor. The sheep. The sheep. Yeah, going away. Now that you have crossed the zone, it has been cleared. You will be able to pass through it on the world map. If you want to review your notes or be reminded of your current quests, press the journal button. You will be able to review special items you have found, dialogues you have recorded, code texts you have learned, and quests you have been needed. That thing with your attack. I got some meat. This is the end of the tutorial. You cannot travel east to Vakri. Start learning more about what has been happening on Susia Island, and hopefully begin to find your way off. There's a village here. It's a friendly settlement, not able to rest. You enter for the first time a colony of survivors on Sucia Island. There is a good deal of astonishment on both sides. The creations seem to have done well on their own, much better than you would have suspected. They have moved into the Shaper's ruins and made them their own. They have crops, shops, and guard patrols. The Servile, in turn, are speechless. They have clearly been without Shaper influence for many years. They have no idea how to react. They look overjoyed, relieved, and terrified at the same time. Most of all, though, they look expectant. They watch you carefully, judging your every move, wondering how you are going to treat them. The power of the Shapers has always completely overwhelmed that of the creations. You, however, don't have the full power of the Shaper. You are weak, tired. Except for my fucking dinosaurs breathing fire and ice. Fortunately, they don't seem to know that. They can see my freaking dinosaurs breathing fire and ice. Is that guy with a knife? What are you guarding against? Hoggy creatures are common in the woods north of Mr. You never know if some of them is so much about killing. You must kill them before they do harm. Yeah, it's another wide area. So there are some shops and things here, and I believe you have seen how the story will lead. That village is some secret society shit that is see how those creations live on their own, how they evolve in nature. Or some shit like that, the creations rebelling. There seems to be several other villages we found here and here and here. It's quite a big map. This map is the best thing in this game. Look at these bridges, man. The fuck? This is so beautiful. But the combat, as you have seen, is pure trash. The writing's not so bad. The plotting is worse than the writing itself. To be made. What the fuck is this enemy? That's some awful combat. I thought I was in for some turn-based tactical cool combat, but they just shat all over it. Cheated. That sense of shock. The past of shit. Damn! Stupid combat. Just laugh. Feasible if it was not sad. It's more melee combat than at a ranged combat. Not flakes everywhere. It seems to be walking in different paths around the map. Greeting shapers, I'm Sarla. No. Holy shit. Well, were not these guys meant to be weak? Much more robust set of skills. How to interact with the exit. And you can clear the map, or you cannot clear the map and explore around, but I believe we have the basic idea. I just killed that guy that might influence something on the story, that might have been some side cast or some shit. Speak later. But this is it for the game. The name and things, as I said, are commented enough throughout the game. Gave me some experience, but I have played them, I'm just going to install it. Sad. That looks so nice in this image. The story is actually somewhat very vaguely related. These creatures, it has not enough genie. The story has some like magical genie, biological engineering with magic shit, but it's far from, from the reality. And I, being someone who did chemistry and studied biochemistry and natural sciences, environmental sciences, is I am rather disappointed on how this game